The empty chair beside her felt louder than the entire restaurant, a silent accusation that something had already gone wrong before the night even began. Rain streaked the tall glass windows, city lights blurring like wounded stars outside, and no one noticed the single father hesitating near the hostess stand with a tired child asleep on his shoulder, unaware that one small decision was about to collide two lonely lives and quietly change them forever. Before the story unfolds any further, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the quiet power of human connection, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, subscribe to the channel, and tell us in the comments where you are watching from. Your support helps stories like this reach hearts that may need them most. Ethan Cole had not planned to be there. Plans were luxuries he had stopped trusting years ago, ever since life taught him how easily promises could vanish. He was 34, with gentle eyes that had learned exhaustion too early and hands roughened by long shifts and longer nights. His son Noah, barely 6, slept against him, wrapped in a faded blue jacket that had once belonged to Ethan's younger brother. That jacket was one of the many things Ethan had inherited from a past that refused to stay buried. The restaurant was supposed to be a rare reward, a cheap celebration after Noah's school recital, but when the babysitter canceled and Noah fell asleep in the car, Ethan found himself standing under the warm lights anyway, unwilling to go back to the quiet apartment that echoed with memories. Across the room sat Claire Whitmore, alone at a table meant for two. She was 32, composed, graceful, dressed in understated elegance that did not beg for attention. Her dark hair was neatly pinned, her posture calm, but her eyes told another story, one of disappointment carefully wrapped in dignity. The men she was supposed to meet had sent a brief message moments earlier, an apology without effort, a convenient excuse, and then silence. Claire smiled politely when the waiter asked if she wanted to order anyway, but the smile did not reach her eyes. She was used to empty seats, used to people choosing something else over her, never knowing that she owned companies they admired, funded hospitals they trusted, and carried a fortune that could reshape lives overnight. What money could not buy was sincerity, and tonight it seemed it could not even buy common courtesy. The restaurant manager approached Ethan, apologizing softly that there were no small tables left. Without thinking too deeply, Ethan glanced around, his eyes landing on the empty chair beside Claire. He hesitated, embarrassment flushing his face, then nodded when the manager suggested asking politely. Claire looked up as Ethan approached, surprised, her gaze instinctively softening at the sight of the sleeping child. The question was simple, almost forgettable, but the moment was not. She nodded, gesturing to the chair, and just like that, the empty seat was filled, not by the men who had abandoned her, but by someone who carried quiet responsibility in every step he took. The night unfolded slowly, almost cautiously, like two people afraid of disturbing something fragile. Noah stirred briefly, and Claire helped adjust the jacket around him without thinking, an instinctive tenderness that startled her. Ethan noticed and thanked her with a shy smile that felt more genuine than anything she had encountered in months. They spoke about ordinary things, the weather, the food, the city outside, but beneath every word was something deeper, a shared understanding of loneliness that needed no explanation. Claire did not mention her world of boardrooms and private jets, and Ethan did not speak of the nights he counted coins at the kitchen table, choosing between groceries and gas. In that quiet restaurant, they were simply two people finding comfort in being seen. Ethan's life had narrowed after his wife, Lily, passed away 3 years earlier. The illness had come fast, cruel, leaving him with unanswered questions and a child too young to understand why his mother never came home. Ethan worked 2 jobs, one as a delivery driver by day and another cleaning offices at night. Dreams were postponed, grief carefully folded into routine, and hope became something he rarely allowed himself to feel. Yet sitting there, watching Claire laugh softly as Noah murmured in his sleep, something loosened in his chest. It frightened him how natural it felt. Claire, on the other hand, lived surrounded by abundance and emotional scarcity. Raised in wealth, she had inherited Whitmore Holdings after her parents' sudden passing, and with it came expectations, suspicion, and relationships that always seemed to orbit her status rather than her soul. Dates felt like interviews, smiles like investments. Sitting with Ethan, listening to him speak about Noah's favorite bedtime story and the small joys that survived hardship, Claire felt grounded in a way she had forgotten was possible. She did not feel admired or pursued, but simply present. When the evening ended, there were no dramatic confessions or promises. Just a shared walk to the door, a gentle goodbye, and the exchange of phone numbers written carefully on a napkin. Ethan left thinking it was a kind moment he would carry quietly, a reminder that kindness still existed. Claire watched him disappear into the rain, her heart heavier and lighter all at once, wondering why this stranger had made her feel more than all the polished men she had known. Days turned into weeks, and messages turned into conversations. Coffee followed, then walks in the park where Noah ran ahead laughing, unaware that he was witnessing the slow beginning of something beautiful. Ethan struggled with guilt, feeling disloyal to Lily's memory, afraid of hope. Claire struggled with fear, knowing that revealing her true life could shatter the fragile balance they shared. She enjoyed being Claire, not the billionaire heiress, and she dreaded the moment when the truth would step between them. That moment came not with anger, but with silence. Ethan learned the truth accidentally, seeing Claire's face on a magazine cover while waiting at a grocery checkout, her name printed beneath words like mogul and visionary. His hands trembled as he paid, shame and confusion gnawing inside him. He withdrew, convinced he had wandered into a world where he did not belong, where his calloused hands and second-hand clothes were out of place. Claire felt the distance immediately, the unanswered messages, the polite excuses, and her heart sank under the weight of what she had feared all along. When they finally met again, there were no accusations, only honesty laid bare. Claire spoke of loneliness hidden behind privilege, and Ethan spoke of pride bruised by years of survival. There was pain in the truth, but also relief. For the first time, Claire did not hide, and Ethan did not pretend. They stood on equal ground, not because of money or status, but because both had known loss. From that honesty, something stronger grew. Claire did not try to rescue Ethan, and Ethan did not ask her to dim her light. Instead, they chose partnership. Claire invested quietly in community programs Ethan believed in, and Ethan supported Claire through moments when leadership felt unbearably isolating. Noah, in his innocent wisdom, accepted love without conditions, and his laughter became the bridge between two worlds. Years later, the restaurant still stood, rain still kissed its windows, and the table by the glass remained. But the empty seat no longer carried sadness. It carried memory of a night when disappointment made room for destiny. Ethan never stopped being a devoted father, and Claire never stopped being a powerful leader, but together they learned that love does not arrive loudly. Sometimes it simply sits beside you, filling a space you did not know was waiting. If this story has touched your heart, if it reminded you that kindness can change lives and that love often appears when we least expect it, please take a moment now to like this video, share it with someone who believes in hope, and leave a comment. Your engagement means more than you know and helps keep stories like this alive. Please comment below and tell us which moment moved you the most, because your words are part of this story too. And as the lights dim and the rain falls once more, remember that an empty seat is not always a sign of loss. Sometimes, it is simply making space for something extraordinary.